At the conclusion of this war game, the 77th ID has just completely outclassed this other division full of young men, and it really starts raising some eyebrows because now people really want to know what these old guys are physically capable of doing. And this is where it goes from being kind of fun to not fun at all for the 77th ID, because the real experiments are about to begin. They send the entire 77th to a place called Camp Hyder. It's about 100 miles outside of Phoenix, Arizona, in the middle of the desert. So they show up to Camp Hyder. It's literally just the desert with a couple of tents, not even enough tents for the entire division. They have to go and dig their own wells to find their own water. And then because they didn't have enough tents, they're out there literally building mud huts to live in. So after they get done literally building an army base from scratch, the army comes along and they're like, hey, we want to know how far a normal dude can march in the desert in 100-degree heat if we only give him 1 quart of water. So here's what you guys are going to do. We're going to force you to march, and you're just going to keep marching until a certain number of you pass out. That way we'll have a really good idea of how far a single dude can go on 1 quart of water. So this is already borderline cruel and unusual punishment, but it doesn't stop there, because after they figure out how far a guy can go on a single quart of water, they decide that they're going to start having 6-day exercises where they have the second lieutenant, the lowest ranking officer that presumably knows the least, guide a platoon of men through the desert for 6 days straight. And if they want to be able to get their next day's supply of water and food, they have to be in the right place at the right time at the end of the day. Otherwise, they just don't get the food and water.
You thirsty, Stanley?
Okay, they're literally doing some Hunger Games shit with their own troops. And for those of you that don't know, it's literally a running joke in the military that lieutenants suck at land navigation and always get lost. There's literally men that die from exposure and dehydration during this period at Camp Hyder from the 77th Infantry Division. And this goes on for 6 months that the 77th is out in the middle of the desert having experiments run on them.